here's a little tip. Use these full top sandwich bags because these are only a penny piece to put your onions in, and then you're not spending 2 to 3 cents on the zip top baggies, and then you can just throw these away when you're done. Okay, Jack, so what did you say about these cookies as I was putting them? You said, can I have a little taste, Mom?
Yeah, and I said these were not exactly what I asked for, but I think these are better.
Ooh.
I've always liked this kind of cookie.
So, what Jack doesn't know is I always make the oatmeal cookies so that the kids have something that fills them up a little bit more. And I don't normally make regular chocolate chip cookies. Do you feel you've been lied to your whole life, Jack?
Well, Nan gives me plenty of chocolate chip cookies.
Nan makes up for what Mom doesn't do.
Yeah.
I buy things like napkins at garage sales and thrift stores. Look at these. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 packages of big ones and 3 packages of little ones. I paid $0.25 each, and there are 16 in here. So it's about $0.50 each. These will be really nice, heavy-duty napkins for my family. I just use these every day. Every year, I just collect napkins at garage sales, and then I just use them throughout the year. If they're seasonal, I'll put them out for that season. If they're just like neutral like this, then I'll just go ahead and put them out now. Here, they were $2.59 originally. I don't know, this was probably 20 years ago when they bought them.
Oh, look, a lovely napkin from a garage sale that's way fancier than the other napkins from the store. And it's not a used one from our garage sale. It's a new one in a plastic bag.
Oh, gross. These are my tomatoes that are left over from the hailstorm. Yeah, not many. I'm letting them ripen. Here's how I process my garden produce without doing a lot of work canning. I let them ripen as much as I can. This one is ripe, it's just a different variety. Then what I do is I cut off. Oops, that one wasn't as ripe as I thought it was. But that's all right, it'll be fine. So then what I do is I take a zip top bag. I don't peel it or anything. I just throw it in my zip top bag. Now, see how it's molded? That was where the hail got that one. So I'm just gonna slice that whole thing off. See, there's a little tiny bit left there. About 2/3 of the tomato is left, so that's great. I'm gonna let those ripen, that ripen. Just throw them in the bag, put them in the freezer. When you're ready to use them, just pull the whole thing out. Cook it down. Use the immersion blender. It grinds up all the skin with all that great fiber and everything. It just grinds it all up. And then you have delicious homemade spaghetti sauce. Of course, if you want, you can go ahead and cook this down into spaghetti sauce and just freeze it in the zip top bags flat in your freezer if you want. But I don't have time to mess with that today, so I'm just freezing the tomatoes. All right, garage sale signs from the weekend. So, first of all, I got this Sunbeam skillet. I absolutely love my skillet, and it was $2. And because they're older, the plugs keep breaking, and so it's a little bit rough on the back, but that's okay, I think. But this one, yeah, that doesn't have a date, but for $2, I wanted an extra skillet in case my other one breaks, because I absolutely love these old skillets. This is what's left with my garden produce. I'm gonna cut the tops out, slice these, and freeze them for fajitas. In case you guys didn't know how to cut a pepper, slice down the middle, pull it apart, pull it out. There you go. No wasted pepper. Cut up all my veggies on a Walmart sack newspaper if you want to compost it. Take it up, throw it away. Wear gloves, guys. That way you don't have to worry about getting the pepper off your fingers. I got the small olives instead of the medium or the large because even though it's the same weight, when you use the small ones, if they're used whole, then you will use less of them if you use the small ones versus the big ones. Does that make sense? Because you'll use more big ones. Say there's 10 small olives that will equal 5 large olives. So that's why it looks like more when you're eating. So that's a way to stretch your olives. One of the ways to soften brown sugar is to put it in the microwave with just a titch of water and microwave it, and it will soften up. What I'm going to do is I'm going to add the 1/4 cup of water that I need for my cookies in there and nuke it for just a few seconds and let that soften up. So look at this. Just softens it all up. And I've got the water already in for my cookies here, so I don't need to add it into here. And that is going to cook my egg. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add my flour and get this mixed up first. Let this cool for just a bit so it doesn't cook my egg. Ow, that's hot. Okay, I'm gonna let this cool down. I should have only nuked it for about 15 seconds instead of 30. That was my fault. We are cooled down now. 15 seconds would have been more than plenty, but that's okay. Okay, here's a little trick. I just made some bread dough and I wiped up the big part, but you can see there's still some stuck on there. So I just take my scraper and scrape it up. There you go. Pretty handy, isn't it? If you smush your lemon like this, it will soften up inside, and then you can zest it and you will have more juice. After you're done zesting it, you can have more juice. Whoa, our lemon juice, that is a juicy lemon. Wow, this one really has a lot of juice in it. So I'm going to show you an easy way to melt honey now, or to measure honey. Just spray your measuring cup with cooking spray, and then your honey will slide right out and it won't get stuck. Okay, got my honey, my reusable oil spritzer. Love this thing, it saves so much money. So let's see, a thing of Pam is probably close to what, $4 now? And I don't know, it's probably what, $10, $20 for the bottle. So just about 4 cans of Pam and you'll get it all paid for.